B. Tondi and Sahala. 1. Tondi. Many authors have been interested in this Tondi belief. This is proved by the many treatises on the subject, trying to elucidate this. Very interesting phenomenon. In this discussion, we restrict ourselves to the Tondi of man. Let us first quote some text. The numbers refer to the names of the informed months in the index at the end of this work. Paitesorodo peto di itu na dibuktian, jolo disukun debata do manang aha pangiduan na, jala manang dia dipilit to di itu di pasa debata gawe bagian na. Debata do mandiopton di jolma, di tikiat dokang sosoran do pe jolma tu hasiangan non, nungan dipangiruhian tu debata. Ia na denggan dipangiro na denggan do, ia na denggan dipangiro na denggan ro. Di debata do di na mangulu do na mate do na nain tubuh jala di sude harak do adong debata do nasa na maghosa do dinasa na maghosa tondi ido mano tuhon panguluon do bagian di jolma dinalau jadi jolmai mangido mai bana to puta mula jadi tangot di bagian na raja moloninna saud raja molo dipanggilo panako saud panako. Ai. Before the Tondi enters the womb, the high god will ask him what fate he desires, and what he wishes the high god will grant him. The Tondi of a man is with the high god. Before a man sees the light of the day, he, the Tondi, has already asked his fate from the high god. If he has asked for what is good, he will get it. The Tondi of living men, of the deceased, and of those who are still to be born are with the high god. The high god is in all men and beings that have breath. The Tondi determines the way of living and the fate of man. Before the conception in the womb, he will ask his fate from mula jadi. If he wishes to become a prince, it is bound to happen. Likewise, he will become a thief should he desire so. The previous text saw very clearly that the Tondi is man himself, originating from the high god. We shall refer to this at the end of this paragraph. However, it is also part. The following will show this very plainly. Before entering the womb, it will ask the high god from its fate. It is allowed to choose any fate, but when it has once made its choice, there is no possibility of any change. Its bearer may curse it or complain. Its bearer may curse it or complain to the high god, but it will be of no avail. God or 3420 tell a story of a boy who was thrown into the sea in a box by his uncle. While he was afloat, a kite addressed him in the following words: Dibutuhan inata hape hona hinan. Nunga tubagasan lauto jolo pangiduan ito dim. Ai, before you were born, your Tondi had already expressed the wish wants to float on the sea. P. 200. And from the mouths of those who live in very hard circumstances, we can often hear the well-known words, Tondi la pung sibaran la palapa, panongos mio pung diawon, magtua debata, i.e., O emptier of rice, O my Tondi, you have allotted me a fate worth the hearts of the rice. O pung holy debata, how unhappy is the fate you have to send me. Illness, misfortune, etc. are imputed to the Tondi leaving the body. If it stays away for a long time, a man must die. It is the spirits which can entice a Tondi from the body and keep it in the park. It often occurs that a man passes an airy place and becomes horror-stricken and terrified. If such a man should fail it, his Tondi is said to have been caught by the sombaon, a powerful spirit living in that place. Therefore, the Tondi must be called back, that the sick man must be well again. This rite is called Mangalat Tondi, the calling back of the Tondi from the desolate place. We find a description of such a ceremony in Mr. Haryara's material. After the defavorable to the purpose had been fixed by Adatu, a crowd of people set out for a place considered to be inhabited by a sombaon. Di palumagodang disi laom mangalap, di buwan dua manok, sada na botak, ima pelian tu debata, sada miran naraga, ima pelian ni sombaon. Di hataon mai, hu dihirapon at duri jala didok. Mari maho ale tod dini siadui, di liang peho nuaing, manang dihaw na paturositon, basay unang kolilian disi. Beta hita buli, adong do ingananmu, adong do amangmu do inangmu palolo iho. Pangananmu peadong do. Dungi muli mana sida, dicopot madahanon tu ulu nina maksahiti, madidok. Mula matodim tu dagingmu, tinggal mana niai na milas na niai, tinggal mana niai na milas na niai na mohop sian pamatang mon. Pir matodim liang mahuli-holim. Dungi dipotong madisi habing manang babi harwana. During the procession, the kettle drums were being beaten to call back the Tondi. They took two hands with them, a white one intended as a sacrifice to the high god, and a red one to offer to the sombaon. When the two hands had been dedicated to the high god and the sombaon, they began to move a rice winnow up and down, calling out, "Come, you Tondi of Mr. So and so. You may be in a cave or in a creek or in a creaking tree, but you must not stay there. Let us return home, for you have a house, a father and a mother who will spoil you. You have also food at home." Then the sacrifice returned to their homes. Arrived there, they sprinkled grains of rice to the head of the sick person with the words, "May your Tondi come back into your body. May the heat of the rum fever disappear. May your Tondi be hard, i.e., may your Tondi remain in your body, and may your bones become light." Then they kill a goat or a pig for a feast. On the contrary, all will be well. If the Tondi remains in the body and wishes good fortune to his bearer, his possessions will increase, his sons and daughters will grow up in good health, etc. There is a well-known saying, "Di rumah matodi, di rumah pasamotan," i.e., may the Tondi remain in the body so that there may be continuous profit. Moreover, in this case, a man will be able to face dangers and to bring his possessions successfully in safety. Di masa ni porang, dang mabiyag na magtodi na magsahalay, nampe masibudilan di tiki. Dangala ni pagapara umpay songoni, tung takas doi pangaramotio ni todi. Molosodaw panako barang takoda, ati penian dungagodang daladalan di bayin lau manako, gabi dokhalak tung na masala do todini na morai maniopi tana, i.e., in the firefight, a man whose Tondi and Sahala have not left him will not be afraid. This is not due to the various magic means of protection he has at his disposal, but no doubt thanks to the protection of his Tondi. For if, in spite of all his efforts, a thief cannot steal another man's goods, people will say, "How powerful is the honest Tondi that he can keep his goods in safety?" Neither do we think it queer that they wish each other safety, prosperity, etc. by the meaning of the Tondi. Padadaw pehita tonditai masigomgoman. Jadi matutu asa manupak Tondi, manupak debata, sa tubuh sogot anak nauli. I.e., may our Tondi protect us, although we live far from each other. May it be so, may the Tondi and debata help, so that a fine boy may be born in the future. Van der Tuk, Batak's this book 1, page 110. As soon as, as soon as a man dies, his Tondi becomes a begu spirit. As such, he goes to the high god. This union is demonstrated by following. Let us have a look at photo 2. It is brought from IPS Org P 432 and was taken by him in the course of a Horja Turun, a death ceremony consisting of a digging up and the interment of the bones of a dead body. On such occasion, the bones are laid in a coffin carried to the village. But first slaughter pole, Borotan, has been made. This pole has been given the outward appearance of the tree. In our discussion of the communal sacrificial celebration bius, we shall see that this slaughter pole represents the tree of life. The coffin with its contents is placed under the slaughter pole, and after which the dancing begins. Then, at the end of the celebration, it is buried before the gates of the village, and to quote Ypres, a high mound is heaped on it, and on which a hariara or a jabi tree, a sort of waringin, is planted. Sahala. Sahala is the quality, natural disposition, as well as the destiny of man. In other words, it is an aspect of the Tondi. Let us go into the matter. Sahala tong doi sian mula jadi, nang sinihaton hiad doi tu akka na boy majalo. Sahala mamora tu na mamora, sahala magtua na tu na boy magtua, sahala harajaw tu na boy raja, sahala datu tu na boy datu. Adodo sahala panako, alay nasoheado dapo iba na tiki manako. Adong do ng sahala pamunu ima na begu. Adong ng sahala hatukangon hapistaran di tiki dibuktiad dope jolmai nunga dilihon mula jadi na bolon sahala tusi. Disukun mula jadi na bolon do jolo to di nina dibuktiani. Haguang mahosyen buktiani jadi alusna dang dope haguang opung mula jadi na bolon dang sukup dope pangiduaki. Ahadope huwa pangiduanmu ay nung asuk aka pamatangmu. Jadi dipangido ma ditiki isi pangiduan na hombak tu ibana gupani songonon. Aka nagabe namora aka napistar. Dang pola songon leleng ni aka si songon ibe dibuktian di umur ni aka na magpangiduan na hurang gabeak. Mogo may siya 12 bulan di dogma ruang mauapung manang saala ahape taho leo diau sahala pangimug sahala panako digijang dimula jadi do sahalai paite so di leo tu julmai labtua jolmai lambargado nang sahalai olo do lau sahalai moldang tawan to din na majujung manigog lau do sahalai tu na punasa mula jadi na bolon oputa mula jadi i.e. Sahala, like was originating from the high god, is allotted already in the womb to those men who are able to receive Sahala. A richness Sahala is granted to him who will be rich and happy in life. A happiness Sahala is given to him who will lead a happy life. A future prince gets a prince Sahala, and a datu Sahala is granted to a future datu. There is also a thief Sahala, which will make a man a thief, who will never be caught. Besides, there are murderers Sahala, the bearers of which will be brave men. There are also artisan and talent Sahala. It is in the womb that Mula Jadi Nabolon grants Sahala to men. Mula Jadi Nabolon will then ask the Tondi of a man in the womb, "Don't you think it is time to get into the world?" And the Tondi will reply, "No, poor Mula Jadi, I will wait a bit. My wishes are not yet entirely fulfilled." Then Boleh jadi na bolon will ask, what more do you want? Because your limb have already grown. On this occasion, the future citizen of the world will ask for that which pleases him. Sahala to have children, to be rich or gifted. There are men who prefer evil. They do not stay as long in the womb as those who wish to get a good sahala. The period of development is less than 1 year. Such a man will say to the high god, Opung, I want to enter the world now, so it does not matter what kind of sahala you will give me, a robber sahala or a thief sahala will become. The sahala is in the upper world with mula jadi before it is granted to men. The sahala becomes stronger as one gets older. The sahala can disappear. This takes place as soon as the Tondi cannot keep the sahala any longer. Then the sahala goes back to his owner or opung mula jadi. With a view to the preceding one, may conclude the sahala is an equivalent of the Polynesian mana. There are, however, texts showing that every man possesses sahala irrespective of his low, moderate, or high position in the community. Let us return for a moment to P63 SQ. The fate of every man, says the text, is recorded by the high god on the trunk, the branches, the twigs, etc. of the tree of life. Let us take sketch 3. There are small steps called tondung sahala. Each provided with an inscription. Winkler OCP 187 says of it. Zo gerunden, welke stellung in de menslichen Gesellschaft de Tondi eines Menschen seinem Träger für die Zukunft bestimmt hat, bevraagde dazu de Stapchen-Orakel Tondung Sahala wurde en benutzt hiervoor eine Anzahl Bambustapfen. There are also wood staffs oder Lumbentobing, deren jedes mit einer Inschrift versehen ist. Jedes befasst außer der künftigen Würde auf gleich die nötigen Anweisungen, wodurch man das Glück, das einem bestimmt ist, an sich versellen kann, nämlich durch ein Vermieter Tondi oder auch wie man das Unglück vor sich abwendet und auf einen Gegenstand übertragt, Pogdauni Hangalan, oder durch welches Opfer man das, was der Orakel verheißt, an sich bringt, Hasahatan, Panahatan. Dazu hat das Bundel vor etwa 40 Bambustapfen über seinen Kopf, weil sie mit einigen Worten seinem Tondi Z2 und der Stapfen heraus vergleichen Inhalt und verkündet seinem Klienten die Auskunft. Now, it is obvious that a relation exists between these small staffs and the tree of life. It is perhaps not too risky to look upon these staffs as representation of the twigs, as representations of the twigs of the tree of life. The more so, as this ceremony is specially held on behalf of young people at least 16 years, the marriageable age, whose fates, according to the text, are being recorded by the high god on the very branches and twigs of the tree of life. This leads to the conclusion that every man possesses sahala, as all men are said to have originated from the tree of life. This certainly cannot be said of the Polynesian mana. Let us now look at the text of an abundance of these steps to be found in Winkler's collection. Au sala pertonun, pamijog, mangibalo di bagason huta. Au sala paghara ni deba na soprak purong bungin, pasagi-sagi na mago di suru balangari. Au sala partiga si tolon gana. Au sala hobo si patinggal anakon di dia pei simuneune do inon si parmahano tondo. I am the Sahala of a man who shall wave, shoulder, and fasten the hilt of a dagger knife to its blade in the village. I am the Sahala of a man who shall be somebody's messenger who cannot sleep at night, owing to his anxiety about the objects lost during the day. I am the Sahala of a man who shall be a merchant used to tell lies. I am the Sahala of a man who shall be like a kerbau, which must be put on the plough, loving wherever it may be, it must be tended. Are not we to conclude from this that Sahala means a natural disposition, quality as well as destiny? A man who has shoulders is not necessarily a brilliant person. The same applies to the messenger, and is it not a normal phenomenon that merchant invents lies? He who resembles a kerbau is a man without any initiative who cannot do anything without guidance. It is not likely that a Toba Batak sees something extraordinary in such a person, either in a favorable or in an unfavorable sense. Au sala pagbukas-bukas sa jopo sirawon na pagtataring digukungna. Au salda tagu-taguan gagaton, masahala tuan na moksangap. Au sahala babiat, sahala na begu, sahala urubalang. I.e., I am the sahala of someone who shall move again and again. He staying in one and the same village lasts as long as the time necessary to get a handful of ashes of firewood. He has his cooking fireplace on his neck. I am the sahala of someone who shall be like a horse which is always given in its fodder. That is, the sahala of a man of rank. I am the sahala of a man who shall be like a tiger, i.e., who shall be courageous, who shall be the begu, i.e., brave, who shall be a hero. The last text shows Sahala as an extraordinary quality. This is not to be wondered at, as qualities do not only differ in nature but also in degree. So we see that Sahala is an aspect of the Tondi, and as such it is to be considered as an equivalent of the Polynesian mana in many respects. Part and totality. The text justifies the conclusion that among the Tobanese little is to be found of a developed consciousness of personality. They ascribe almost everything they experience to the activity of their Tondi. It is therefore not quite correct to render Tondi by soul in the modern sense of the word. It is his defective consciousness of self that prevents a Tobanese from making a distinction between his Tondi and his body. When his Tondi is, his body will be. It is true that from time to time he feels deserted by his Tondi may cause disagreeable consequences, but in this situation the Tondi is considered to be the person himself and is treated likewise, and for this reason he is, although invisible, spatially divine. The above described rite of the Mangalap Tondi does not leave any room for doubt. However, the reverse is also true. If we skim the page of Wagner's Religion, PHSQ, we read that the Tondi dwells in every part of the body. The Tondi is also present in the hair, the nails, the saliva, the breath, the urine, etc. Even if these are no longer in an organic relation with the body. Even after death, the Tondi as a begu remains connected with the mortal remains, although in the realm of the dead, he has a shape absolutely identical with that on earth. Cannibalism, which occurred among the Tobanese until the beginning of this century, must be traced back to this conviction. Although this has quite escaped Wagner's attention, we also perceive that as a consequence of the totalitarian, non-analytical way of thinking of the Toba of the Batak, which they share with many other peoples. The Tondi as a whole dwells in all the parts of the body. For this reason, our conclusion must be that the Tondi is immanent in the Tondi. For this reason, our conclusion must be that the Tondi is immanent in the body. Tondi and body are not two separate entities, but they must be looked upon as being integral. So, as they cannot be separated, let us examine whether they can be interdistinguished. The text quoted above point in this direction. We have seen that the Tondi determines a man's riches or poverty, happiness or sorrow, health or illness, etc. In fact, the Tondi is man himself, is the bear of man's life, his being, his character, his vitality. There is hardly anything that escapes his supervision von ihm hang Glück und Gesicht den Menschen in einer himself unkontrollierbaren Weise ab. Die Folgen der Willkür der Tondi trägt der Mensch, ohne doch irgendwelchen Einfluss auf ihn zu haben, warnet Religion. All that happens to man has been affected by the Tondi and can only be realized and experienced by means of the Tondi. Therefore, we do not wrong the Tobanese when we point at the distinction made by him between biodynamic mobility of the Tondi and static condition of the body. Consequently, the Tondi, although inseparable from the Tondi, is a mobile power in the body. Life and death, riches and poverty, good and evil, good and evil, oneness and multiply, etc. is ascribed to him. What else does this mean then that he is the cosmic order operating in and through the body? Man as the inseparable unity of body and Tondi originates from and in the end returns up to the high God. This implies that we must consider this God as all Tondi and all space, the essential wonders of cosmic totality and order. The Toba's relation to this God is therefore that of a part to the whole, or rather, the individual is a microcosmos within the macrocosmos, which is the high God.